Welcome to Tianjin. It has been such a long week. Today is Saturday and it is empty. It's a testing day. So, in case you haven't heard, Tianjin has faced the first Omicron challenge. It started as 2 cases a week ago Saturday, which has now come to 144 cases. This is new for us. In China, we have a zero tolerance policy. And so the city has acted very swiftly to find who currently has a case and make sure that they're isolated. So today, this morning, was round number 3 to test the entire city. It's interesting because Tianjin has been the safe city. It's the one that's escaped COVID. So I think there is a sense of urgency here to make sure that we really can be effective in how we're handling the COVID situation. And the measures that the city has taken is by far incredibly swift. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. Hey everyone, it's John Thomas. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Today, I'm here in Tianjin, where I live, and what a challenging week it's been. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my experience this past week as just somebody living in a city that has experienced an initial outbreak. I'm not a news person, so if you're here for news or whatever, I'm not the right place for that. I just want to share my experience this week and how amazing the people have been here in Tianjin as we have battled our first outbreak of COVID in the city. So I've lived in Tianjin for 4 years, and this is where I spent the initial time at lockdown. Right now feels like, it's so cold. Right now feels like that first time locking down in 2020. Today is a test day. It is Saturday, 1 week after the first cases came to Tianjin. And so most people are taking tests and heading into their homes and waiting for the negative results to come out before they leave. A lot of people are able to leave if you are in a service industry, if you are working in a grocery store, or if your community just isn't strict on their guidelines, you're able to leave and go about your day. Malls are open, so life can proceed as normal, but some communities do keep you locked in. But I want to tell you about the first day that the news broke. The news broke last Saturday. There were 2 cases, and didn't think much of it. We've had cases before, but then on Sunday is when Tianjin decided to test everybody. And let me tell you, I went to the grocery store. I think innately you just don't know what's going to happen. And everybody else had that idea as well. Shelves were empty. There were huge lines at the grocery store. Based on other situations that have happened here in China recently, I think people were a little afraid of the food situation. Needless to say, no need to be afraid. There was huge lines that day, but the food was all replenished the next day, and it's been fine ever since. We've been through 3 rounds of testing. The first round for me was on Sunday, Monday. The second round was on Wednesday, and the third round was this morning here on Saturday. Quite interesting. The first process was terrible. I had to wait in line. I think it was an hour and a half. I think most people were waiting in these freezing temperatures. It's cold. I don't know if you can tell. The water is frozen behind me. I've got ice here. But I just didn't want to sit in my apartment today. So anyways, the first test was terrible. Everybody's waiting in these freezing temperatures outside. So the second round test was so much more efficient. They were able to get us in and out quite quickly. Unfortunately, a lot of communities across Tianjin didn't have that same type of efficiency, and so a lot of people were testing from like noon until midnight that night. Today, however, completely different story. Testing started at 7 a.m. and I think for the most part, a lot of people are done. It's like 2:30 now, and a lot of people are starting to come out. And I know I'm outside in the freezing temperatures, so there's not a lot of people out and about here, but people are out and about, which is great. There are 4 districts in Tianjin that are in isolation, quarantine, lockdown, whatever word you're using. But Jinan, Qixing, Hongqiao, and Huxi has a couple of communities that are in isolation or lockdown. So all of the new cases that were reported from Wednesday all came from those areas. Huge shout out to those people in those communities. I hope you're doing well and that you are continuing to fight. There's a word in China called jiao. Jiao, I mean, like, come on, go for it. You've got this. So jiao for them and jiao for Tianjin. The people here have really come together to make this a better experience for all of us, and it keeps getting better and better. I anticipate more and more tests as we decide or figure out what's happening here. I know some of you take these videos and you put them up on Chinese media, so sometimes a lot of people see these videos, and I just want to give a huge shout out to the people of Tianjin. The people I work with who have also found these videos. Everybody has just been so cooperative and responsive to making sure that we can get through all of these tests. It's really remarkable when you think about the ability to test. I think we have almost 15 million people in the city, and to test 15 million people every 3 days for this virus is fantastic. The other thing I want to mention is that most of the cases are asymptomatic, and I think that's really important to note because Tianjin has been through all vaccinations. Most people, I think we're over 80% are vaccinated, and everybody's already getting their 3rd booster shot. So I think everybody who's getting the COVID right now is just not experiencing any type of symptoms because they're vaccinated, which I think is a really good thing. So overall, I appreciate those of you who've checked in. Thank you so much for whether that's on Instagram or here on a YouTube comment. I really appreciate you checking in and seeing how I'm doing. I hope the situation continues to get better, and I'm really hoping that we can get through this before Chinese New Year. I don't think there's going to be much travel, and I do think there's some cases that have moved from Tianjin to other places, so Jiao to Shanghai, who I heard recently had a case, and Dalian, and Henan province as well. So that's a little quick update for life in Tianjin this week. And nothing magical in this video. I've not had any time to do anything. I'm taking an hour to walk across the street to film this video in hopes that I can edit it for you all tomorrow. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Thank you for all of the support that you continue to give me and the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.